If you are regularly getting out of your comfort zone in a way that just causes you quite a lot of stress, let's face it, and you're working on your confidence levels, trying to overcome imposter syndrome, as the women are who are watching these videos, then we're going to need to, you're going to need to resource yourself very deeply for that work. Because otherwise, like, why are you still putting yourself through this? And with my clients, I keep getting them to reflect on what it is they're trying to do, but not in an abstract way, not in just a kind of I'm trying to make the world a better place kind of thing, but to bring to mind the specific people who they're trying to help. And often it's useful to think of someone who you have helped in the past through your work. I remember a client just telling this like really, really wonderful story of another woman that she had supported, and that's kind of like you've got to like tether yourself to your motivation and keep coming back to that again and again. The thing with fear and anxiety is that what's happening is the attention is going inward. This is something that I really well, not learned from Cassia Baniak, but she just articulates it in a way that I think is just very straightforward. That what happens often is that our attention goes inward and it gets kind of stuck there. We need to bring it out again, reminding yourself of very specific inspirations, the very, very real people and how their lives can change through your work is well, it's just something that no one can take away from you. It's like having an inexhaustible spring of energy and bravery and strength and integrity. And all you have to do is just keep bringing them to mind. Yeah. When I start these videos, if I ever need to give myself a little bit of a boost, a little bit of energy, I'll just go and read one of the messages that a woman has sent to me. Well, it could have been years ago. I mean, I've been posting one recently on social media that was from a public speaking training course that I ran in, I think it was like August 2024, something like that. So just going through those messages can just inspire you, because like we need a force that is greater than the fear. Like, why else would you keep doing this, particularly over decades? Some things like masking might be enough on the day, yeah, pushing yourself forward, not wanting to let anyone down for that particular presentation or whatever it is, that will work, yeah, in the short term. But like masking and lower confidence, it has a longer term impact on the body. All of that tension that you're holding in your stomach. I get IBS problems. You might get back pain from holding your tension there, throat problems, like whatever it is. Like the fear will erode you over time, even if you're very good at masking it. So we're going to need a force that's kind of stronger than that to keep moving us forward, but to also like genuinely resource us from the inside. Often our mental states are thrown about by what's going on outside of us. And so what I mean by resourcing for ourselves from the inside is to have something that's untouchable. Yeah, it's untouchable from criticism or a funny expression from someone in the crowd. It's like kind of like ballast or yeah, the more and more it's just like this image of almost like light or something that we have that we can, or kind of like, I think like positive mental states, but not just like sort of a happy clappy la 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 everything's fine. I don't mean that, but kind of like a robustness of our being. The image I have now is of this kind of light from the inside that just keeps self generating, and just exudes out into the world. I remember leading a retreat a few years ago, and someone at the end told me, "Oh, being around you is like being around sunshine." And it like, what a thing for someone to say of me. Like, and it's not about me being that. I just hope they have that experience of being kind of around that energy. But I was like, well, what has enabled me to generate that? And a number of different things I'll share in these videos as well. But yeah, some of it is coming back to this like absolute rock solid belief in what I'm doing and how it helps people, and reminding myself of the good I can contribute to the world, and holding that as close to my heart as possible, and to just keep coming back. Because the thing is, we just have to keep remembering. We have this phrase in my Buddhist order of like guarding your inspiration. You have to keep guarding your inspiration. You could spend less time probably doing some of the other mindset stuff and relaxation practices and things like that. And instead, if you could just spend more, a bit more time and energy, like really bringing people to mind, it will make so much of a difference. And you can do it anytime. You could do it in the morning. Yeah, like just bring them to mind, wish them well, or just imagine being present with them. I've got this image now of being like surrounded by all of my clients. Some of them feel a bit kind of closer to me at the moment, and then I've got ones that maybe I haven't seen for such a while, but I know they're out there. And then other people who've come to my workshops and commented on my stuff and messages I've received. Like, you can have a little bit of the time in the morning before you go and do something that's a bit of a stretch, like just bringing that to mind. I think it is really helpful to like flex that muscle every single day in some way, particularly if, things have been a bit more challenging recently. And then you can kind of do almost like the sort of maintenance meditations of it. Yeah. But to begin with, I think it's helpful to just get into the habit of, just bringing them to mind. And you don't really need to do anything fancy. Yeah, somehow just bring the person to mind. Like, I'm imagining one of my clients right now as I'm talking to you, and it immediately makes me smile. Nothing fancy is going on. I'm not making any special moves in my brain. It's literally just bringing it's not even quite her face to mind, because we've only ever met online and I haven't seen her for a bit, so it's kind of faded a little bit, but just her sense of presence. And you can do that right now as well. Why don't you do that right now?